We go live. Live. I think we got it. We are good to go. Woohoo! Bloody jolly good. Alrighty. Good evening, everyone. Who do we have tonight? Ooh, wrong way. There we go. And there it is right there. Keith and Jones, Mickey, is it Mickey or Mikey? Ice, Pops, Monica, Topher, Paul, Oracle Info, cool. Mr. Wizard, Mark, Jay will be here for you. Thank you, Jay. Dano, what's happening, Dano? Let's get it, brother. Way to go, Mr. Wizard. Pops, Monica, Reversal Trader. I'm kind of interested in what is that all about. JP, what's going on? Kendrick, Rob, Ruben, Lion, Riley, good evening. Monica, good evening. Mark, Greg, good evening. Alrighty. Who do we have tonight? We have Up Down Trader. Woohoo! In the house. What do we have here? Oh, that ain't ready to go. All right, are we ready? Are we ready to roll? All right, where are we? Right there. There. Alrighty. Good evening, everyone. My name is James. This is Dividend Stock Talk, brought to you by the 10-Minute Trader, where I invest in dividend stocks for weekly cash flow, taking you guys along for the ride for a simple, safe, predictable, consistent 1% per week, using nothing but pre-qualified dividend stocks. Now, what I consider as a pre-qualified dividend stock, any company that has been consistently profitable for 20 years or more. 25 is great, but 20 years or more. If your company is 20 years of profits, why the hell wouldn't I want to buy it? It's a good question. Now, I check every single week. This week, there just so happens to be 10,688 different companies. So how do you choose the right one? That's a lot to choose from. 10,688. That's a lot. All right, so who do we have over here? EJ, KJ. What's happening, KJ? Ron, good evening. Mark, good evening. Hewlett Packard coming right up. Alrighty. Mark would like to look at some Hewlett Packard, HPE, not HPQ. Now, we did both of them the other day, HPE and HPQ. Let's see how it unfolds. Mr. Wizard wants to take a look at Verizon. Okay, hold on, Mr. Wizard. First and foremost, who was first? Mark was first with Hewlett Packard. Trent, what's happening? Hewlett Packard, HPE. Here we go. Move this over a smidge. Hey, that looks pretty good. Looks pretty good to me. Let's take a look. That's a weird place for my pen to be. Not supposed to be there. Anyway. Let's go. All right. Pen. Now, anytime you see me do anything, it's always going to be 1, 2, 3, A, B, C. Simple, safe, predictable, consistent. Now, first thing I want to look at, when I look at any chart, it's always 5 things. The high, the low, where was it, where is it going? It gives me a good idea of what I think it could be doing next. Because think about it. I'm an investor. You guys are investors. We like to buy. We like to sell. We like to see what is going to be profitable for us. Now, I'm a little bit different than you guys. I'm looking for safety first, then profitability and consistency. Or is it safety, consistency, then profitability? I don't know. It depends on how you want to do it. Let's check out what we got. Here's the high of the year, the low of the year. Where was it a year ago? Where is it now? Look at the motion. Up, down. Up, down, up. That's clearly to the upward side, and it's 22.26 at this moment. Now, tomorrow's Thursday, so we're not going to get 1% this week. There's only 2 days left. So we got to look at next week. And that's not 5 December. That's this Friday. We're going to be looking at 12 December, which is next Friday. And the beauty of what I do is I can do this every single week. The only thing I do is weekly options on dividend stocks, specifically dividend stocks that are consistently profitable. It just sounds so freaking logical. Think about it. A company that has been profitable for 2 decades or more and paying a nice premium on a weekly basis every single week. Why the hell not? Anyway, let's see where we are. Okay, so I like this movement right here. The 22 and a halves are going to be right there. It's 81 cents, just shy of 4%, but we can definitely get 3% out of this. So let's take a look. All right, I need my glasses for this. All righty. Got some new glasses. What do you think? Makes me look studious. All right. A year ago, 2120. Isn't that weird? Check it out. A year ago, we're at 21. Where are we now? 22. You bought this thing a year ago and you held on to it for a whole year. You made $1. Yay. That's a 0.5%. Yeah, no, thank you. All right. A year ago, 21. We bottomed out on TDS day. That's the first couple of weeks of April. From there, check it out. $12 is the bottom of the year. The top of the year is over 26. That's over 100% in 6 months. Well, that's pretty damn good, right? But how often does that happen? Okay, ask yourself honestly, how often do you buy something and it doubles within the year? That doesn't happen that often. Okay, granted, it does happen, but is that the gamble that you want to take? Okay, granted, I could look for this and do just these, but it's not as easy as you think, because remember, there's 10,688 different companies. So I would prefer to be simple, safe, predictable, consistent, in, out, in less than 10 minutes. That's it. Simple, safe, predictable, consistent, no way to lose, less than 10 minutes every single day. Terribly sorry. If you're expecting some kind of something for nothing scenario, you're in the wrong place. If you're looking for capital appreciation, that means you want to buy a stock here and have it run up to that and say, yeah, I'm not doing that either. It's not what I'm looking for. See, I'm retired, so that means I need to have income on a weekly basis or monthly basis. Now, I've been doing it long enough that weekly is better for me. Okay, I was born in the 60s, raised in the 70s. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, my first job, we went to work first thing in the morning. We came home when the workday was done. We went to work on Monday, we got paid on Friday, and we enjoyed the weekend. So why not continue to do that in my retirement? So I jump on Monday morning, see what's hot, see what's not, jump in, jump out for the week, do all my trades on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I just watch them. I don't really do a lot of trading on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Most of my trading is Monday and Friday, because a weekly option starts Monday morning and it ends Friday afternoon. So if I want weekly cash flow, I get 2 options. One, trade something that trades on a weekly basis, the weekly option, or sit in front of my computer looking at this crap all day long. Yeah, no thank you. All right, I know where my pitfalls are. Okay, so that's what we're looking at right at the moment. Let's look at the last 90 days, because the last 90 days is the last 3 months. This is the last 3 months. Check it out. The high, the low, where was it? Where is it? Look at this. Up, down, up, down. Now she's going up. Bottoms here, tops here. Get all that space to run. It's a lot of real estate there. But got one minor problem. Okay, I'm kind of curious. Who can see the minor problem that I have? Let's zoom into the last 30 days. Okay, here's my last 30 days. And there's a huge problem here. Who can see it? It's a huge problem. What is it? Okay, bottom's here at $20. The top is here, 22. Okay, it doesn't sound like much of a problem until you do the math. So what is the math? If the bottom's at 20, the top here is at 22, that's a 10% increase. Now ask yourself and be honest. If you bought something a week ago or 2 weeks ago and it's up 10%, would you take the profit? That's the dilemma I'm in. Okay, from here to here, that is 10%. So it already made a 10% move. Is this something I want to jump into and hold on to? Well, let's take a look this way. So let's say hypothetically it is, she pulls back and then she goes back up again. because that's all it is. It goes up 10%, great. And then the profit takers take their profits, and then the rest keeps on going up. Exactly. All about living. Take the profits. Exactly. Why the hell not? It's there. Nobody ever went broke taking profits. And more importantly, it's not a profit until you take it. So she did jump up 10%. All right, fine. So if I want to do the 2250s, pick up 3 or 4%, let's see it. Okay, let's do it. Now, when I say I want a safe, simple, predictable strategy, okay, basically that's the covered call. The easiest strategy there is just to buy the stock. But there's a huge problem with just buying the stock. You have to sit and wait for it to move. Okay, the covered call, you don't have to do that. If I buy it at the current price and I sell it here, I already got my profit right there. I don't have to do anything. Just wait for the time to tick away. And guess what? The clock is ticking anyway. Whether you like it or not, whether you agree with it or not, Friday's coming. It's right around the corner. Guess what? When it's coming, it's over. Yeah, it's coming again. It comes every 7 days, whether you like it or not. Let's keep going. All right. So we're going to do the 2250s on this. 2250, there it is right there. Now, when I say simple, safe, and predictable, the covered call is so safe that the federal government allows you to do a covered call in your IRA. There's a lot of stuff you cannot do in your IRA, but the covered call you can. So look at it this way. A dividend stock is a tendency to be predictable. What do I mean by that? We got to stop this for a second and go back a second so I can explain this a little bit better. Okay, right here behind me, this is called an EX dividend calendar. It's like any other calendar except for this one shows me what stocks are getting ready to pay out their dividend. Now, remember I said that this week there's 10,688 different companies. Well, out of those 10,000 different companies, oh, we got some noise over here. What do we have? Who's making the noise? Chris! I'm going to mute you, Chris. So if you have any questions, Chris, just unmute your phone and just speak up. All right? Thanks, Chris. So a dividend stock company will be very repetitive. That means every 90 days or just before the dividend, that's what these little green dots are. Those are the dividends. Okay, now it doesn't look like there's a lot there. That's because it's a specific list. Okay, so let me show you what we actually have. There you go. Now, you may think some of them don't look good, like this one right here. What is there, one? No, there's not one. They couldn't fit them all. There's 95 on this day. 95 companies on this day here. 95, that's about 20, that's about 18, that's about 20. 67. It looks like there's only one here. No. There's 67 companies here, 37 here. Look at this, nothing. Why is there nothing there? Because that's Christmas. Why is there nothing here? That's New Year's Eve. Look at the very last day of the year. 59. 101. 101 companies are paying out a dividend on the 15th. So how do you know which companies to pick? And why am I showing you this? Well, I'm showing you this because just before they pay out their dividend, most of the time, stocks go up in value. Now, you can take a look at historical performance. It's not that difficult to find. Okay? So you find out when they pay their dividend, which is a little green dot. Now, let me briefly explain about the dividend. Number one, if you don't know what a dividend is, it is a portion of the company's profits that the company gives back to its shareholders. That's us, me and you. You buy a stock in a company, you are part owner of that company, which entitles you to a portion of the profits. So this is where people get a few things wrong. Okay, you're entitled to a portion of the profits. You got two different companies. One shares their profits. That means they actually give you the profit. The other one says, hey, here's our profit. You ain't getting it. And they put it back into the company and the stock hypothetically grows. And then You're not getting your profits. You're just hoping that they're spending it okay, and it actually grows. If you're looking for growth, okay, it's a great idea, but you're in the wrong place because that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for cash flow on a weekly basis. It's not a set it and forget it type thing where you buy it and just leave it alone for the rest of your life. No, no, no. This is an active scenario that you actually have to add to your morning repertoire, your morning routine, your morning ritual, whatever it is. You get up in the morning, brush your teeth, do your hair, get your breakfast, have your coffee, sit in front of your computer and manage your money. Okay, you got a dog or a cat? Yeah. You're feeding and watering and taking them out for a walk. Great. How is that going to help you financially? All I'm asking, think about it. Okay? After you do your morning ritual, 10 minutes to manage your money. Because most people spend more time planning a family barbecue for the weekend than they do with their personal finances. Why? That's not going to help you once you get to this side of the fence. And this side of the fence, my friends, is retirement. Now, I'm no longer fighting traffic to get to work. I'm no longer fighting, I'm not in that anymore. I step back, let the younger generation come on in, take over. You know what? I put my 5 decades in. My first job was in 1974 at Old Man Simmons Farm. Okay, I drove by there a couple of weeks ago. Well, a couple of months ago. Farm's not there anymore. So Old Man Simmons passed on, gave it to the kids. Kids inherited what the first thing they did. Yeah, they plowed in all the fields and they built houses and they sold the houses. It is what it is. Okay, anyway. So yeah, I put it into a dividend calendar. Tells me when the stock's going to pay their dividend. I grab that little dividend and I move on to the next company. Simple, safe, predictable, 1% per week. Let's take a look. All right, so that's that. Let's get back to the trade we were just on. That is why I like to do this. Simple, safe, predictable, blah, 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 blah. Okay, here's the trade right here. By one covered call, HPE, that's Hewlett Packard, 12 December 25. That means this option is going to expire next Friday. Not this Friday, next Friday. Here's my profit. Here's my investment. Let's see what kind of rate of return that looks like. For that, we're going to need the calculator. All right, here we go. Calculator. All right. Move this over. Now, to find out your rate of return, you take the profit, $102, and you divide it by your investment. I'm going to touch on this for a second. Hold on. 2148. 2148 gives me a grand total of 4.7%. Well, I like 4.7%. That works very nicely where I come from. All right, so now here's the part where I apologize profusely. Okay, some of you know that I just got this little toy, not 100% sure what I'm doing. So guess what? I hit the wrong button yesterday and everything disappeared. Oh well. All right, so here we are. Hewlett Packard, yay! All right, there it is, there it is. Ooh, I wanted something big. Yep, I wanted something big. There you go. All right, Hewlett Packard, 12 December, the 2250 call option. 102 is my profit, 2100 is my investment. Now, if you think you're buying stocks, it depends on how you want to look at it. Okay, the way I look at it, I use a metaphor. Okay, you want to know what a metaphor is? Slept like a rock, quiet as a dog. Raining cats and dogs, those are all metaphors. The way I look at this is a weekly cash producing asset. It means every single week I get some money. Every single week from this asset. So how many am I going to buy? Well, however many I can afford, actually. But I take whatever I have and I divide it up so all my investments are relatively even. All right, so I lost all the ones from yesterday and the day before. So we're just going to have to start a new list for today. Here we go. What did we say this one was? 4.7. Holy Charlie. Okay, that ain't gonna work. That works. 4.7% for 1 week. Actually, it's for a week and a half because we got 2 days left. All right, that's that one. Sorry, I got to apologize that the ones from yesterday and the day before are all gone, and the day before. So, yep, all gone. I hit the wrong button. I said it a lot. Most people lose money by hitting the wrong button. Guess what I did? I hit the wrong button. All right, so that's Hewlett Packard. That's number one for today. Let's get back to here where we were. Who do we have next? So that was Hewlett Packard. Thanks there, Mr. Mark. So what do we have next? Next, we have Oracle. Nice. Okay, Lonnie. Earnings are tomorrow for Hewlett Packard. You factor that in. No, I don't. Now, see, it's a good question, Lonnie. Now, Lonnie did mention, hold on, let's go back here for a second. HPE, okay, earnings, right there. HPE, earnings, tomorrow. Aftermarket, see what it says? Okay, HPE has its earnings after the market closes tomorrow. Thursday afternoon, just before Friday, which means Friday options expire. So what are we looking at? Is there any information about it? I have no idea. Well, let's get out of that. All right, back over to here, back up to here. All right, so we're done with Hewlett Packard. Yay and no, I don't pay attention to the earnings. Now, the reason why I don't pay attention to the earnings, because I've been doing this a long time. I've seen positive earnings where stocks go down. I've seen negative earnings where stocks go up. So how are you supposed to judge what does an earnings mean? Don't know. Me love Frenchie. Bonjour, bonsoir. Comment ça va toujours? Eh? No? Ça va bien? All right, anyway. Take some. I have no idea what that means. Encourage more visitors, blah, blah. Oh, SB 1981. Let's take a look at Hormel. We'll take a gander at that. Sit tight. What else do we have? What else do we have? Uh-oh. Wow, I missed all the... Holy cow, missed these questions. All righty, let's go. Greg, Step by Step, Cortez. Rob Toddy, you never gamble with penny stocks. Oh, hell yes, you do. Okay, who's that? Rob Toddy? Now, Rob, I played with penny stocks decades ago. Getting in is easy because they have what's called bid and the ask. When you're buying a penny stock, it doesn't cost you anything. Trying to sell a penny stock, that's where they rake you over the coals because the commission to dump a penny stock is crazy. And how many penny stocks actually come through? Okay. Sorry, Rob, it might be great for you, but I'm 61, I'm going to be 62, which means I'm retired. I'm not going to. It's not that I can't, I'm not going to. I don't have the luxury of being wrong at this point in my life. I don't have that kind of money to throw away. Andrew, if you can get 1% weekly, why don't all investors do this? Because, Andrew, all investors, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. How's that one? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. I can give you a map, a treasure map with a big old X, hand you a pick, hand you a shovel, give you a tuna fish sandwich with a glass of water, and say, hey, there you go, be on your way. Yeah, no one's going to do it because people want stuff for free, want riches with no effort put into it. It's just the way it is. All right, who do we have over here? Just one thing. Hello. Olive Tholev. All right. Hello. Good evening. All righty. So, Andrew, hopefully that makes sense. Just because something is simple, something is easy, doesn't mean everybody wants to do it. And that's so strange. I have 4 kids. All right. None of my 4 children are interested in money at all. My son-in-law is. Because my children have seen me do it over and over again. They take it for granted. Now, my son-in-law, okay, he sees it from a different perspective because he didn't grow up with it. And he sees the possibility. So he's all excited about it. That makes sense. Because children never want what their parents do. Okay, my father offered me his business. I said, oh, hell no. Go to work when it's dark out, come home when it's dark out. Yeah, no, thank you. Ain't no amount of money worth it to that for that. Okay? All right. Let's keep on going. But I appreciate the input, Andrew. And you're right. If it's that easy, why don't everybody do it? Because people are just weird. I don't know what else to say. You know what I mean? It's like a free lunch. If I'm handing out free lunches, there's always going to be someone who's going to complain and say, yeah, can I have something else? Imagine that. I'm going to give you a free lunch and you don't want it because it's not what you want. I'm showing for free how to do a simple, safe, predictable, consistent 1% per week, which is over 50% per year. And you wouldn't believe how many people come through here every night. So hold on. I'm broadcasting on 9 different channels. Anywhere between 5,000 and 30,000 people will come through every single night watching what I'm doing. Hi, everybody. But how many are really interested to a point where they'll actually do something? We've gotten to the point, we got so complacent with what we have available to us, not a lot of people want to put any effort into anything. It's just, it's our own fault. Give everybody everything they want, and now they just want things for free. All right, let's keep on keeping on. Mr. Wizard wants to take a look at Verizon. Mr. Wizard, what do you got? Okay, I haven't forgot about you guys down here on YouTube. I'm going to get to you in a second. Let's do a few more up here. All righty, Mr. Wizard, here we go. Here's the high of the year. Here's the low of the year. Here's where it was a year ago. Here's where it is now. Look at this. Down, up, sideways, down, up, sideways again. 40, 67. The 41 is going for 28. This is where we all say in unison. You ready? 1, 2, 3. That's a no. It's not 1%. Don't get me wrong. I love Verizon. I do. But if I'm going to pay $40 for it, I want my 1%. 10,688 different companies. Verizon's not giving me 1% this week. Next. I love Verizon. I do. Next. Just that simple. Okay, SB 1981, Hormel. Didn't Hormel go to monthlies? Did they? No, they did not. Somebody went to monthly. Ooh, I like this. Love that. Check that out. That looks awesome. Bouncing off the bottom. Yeah, buddy. Here we go. Here's the high. Here's the low. Here we go. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. 23.27. The 23.50s. 50 cents. That's over 2%. It's Hormel. You have any idea who Hormel is? 100-year-old company. It's over 100 years old. It has 5 decades or more of increased profits year after year after year after year. Why the hell isn't it on your list? You don't have to buy it and hold it. Look at this. Okay, up, yeah, profit, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, blah, 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 blah. If you bought it a year ago, you got it at 32. Now it's down to 23. Yeah, no. But if you followed it, doing the buying and selling, look at this. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. That's what it does every single day. It goes up, it goes down. It's a great company. It's been in business over 100 years. Jump in, grab a small profit, get out. Okay, look. Jump in, take a small profit, get out. Jump in, grab a small profit, get out. Okay, if you hold until the profit is done, you never know what it's going to be. Is it going to be 1%, 2%, 5%, 10%, 20%? Nobody knows. But you can tell where the bottom is. Okay, dropping. Here's the bottom. Next day it's higher. Next day it's higher. I like 2 days. 1, 2. Third day I jump in and look. Take that. I'm only looking for 1%. So what 1% of 30? It's 30 cents. So if I jump in third day, 30.25, I'm out at 30.75, which is 50 cents. Now I'm not saying that because I never In 30 years of trading, never once have I got a bottom or top. Always somewhere in between. I don't look for bottoms and tops because I can't do it. Never done it. Never, ever have I bought the exact bottom, and never, ever have I sold at the exact top. I've been doing it for 30 years. Never, never, never. Okay? I want my 1%. Stock moves up, I'm out. Because there's over 10, I already said that. But the companies I'm looking at every single week, 1%. I know it's boring as hell. It's 50% per year or more. 5 to 10 minutes a day. In, out, simple. Thank you kindly. Let's move on. All right. So, like I said, I'm going to get you guys down here on YouTube. What's going on? Mr. Up Down. What's going on? What's going on? All right. Here. Ooh, look at this. ADP. We'll get to that one in a second. All right. What do we have down here? All right. Sorry, guys. I got, yeah. I'm really going to get the numbers bigger on that screen because I can't see them. All right. Sensei. All right. Thank you. Roll, baby. Looking for some good ones for tomorrow. All right. Ryan. Ryan is goofy. Okay. Thank you. Picked up more December HPE. Still made 3%. Nice going, dude. Uh-oh. Roger wants to take a look at Bank of America. Ooh, Bank of America. Everybody thinks it's BOF. No. BOFA. Yeah, no. It's BAC. All right, so let's take a look at BAC. 100-year-old company. Hell no. I don't buy at the high. Sorry, dude. Think about it. The bottom is here, 34. She jumps up to 54. That's over 60, 75% increase. Why am I looking at it when it's up here? That's the time for it to drop or the time to sell. Okay, you always hear it. Buy high, sell low. No, you buy low, you sell high. Buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, blah, 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 blah. Same thing. All right, sorry, dude. No to Bank of America. All righty. John, how's it going? Uh-oh, all these questions. Class is in session. What's up? Okay. Been a while. Glad to be here. Blah, blah, blah. Steve. Yep. Hey, Joey. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. You guys aren't even talking to me. You're talking to everyone else. Okay. Up Down wants to take a look at Dell. Love me some Dell. Let's take a look. What happened here? Looks like she's stalling out, but let's go through the whole gambit. High, low, was, is. Look at this. Down, up, down, up, down, up. 133.64. The 134 is 340. That's over 2%. Let's look at this one. If you like Dell, it's always going to come down to that last burdening question. Do I like this company? Is this where I want to put some of my money? It's an honest question, right? All right, let's find out. Glasses. Don't get old. Yeah. When I was younger, I didn't need these. All right. Year ago, 125.92. We bottomed out on TDS, 66.94. Look at this. We had a double top. Check that out, 168. Look at that right there, twice. Nice. October 30th. Check this out. 30-day top, 30-day bottom, dropping, retracing. We're at 115. We jumped up to 135. That's $20. $20 increase on a $115 stock. That is over 13, 14% between here and here. Yesterday was the high. Today we're down a little bit lower. Is profit taking starting on Dell? Interesting question, right? It either it is or it isn't. All right, what do we have next? All right, HP, nice job, nice job. Ah, that's right. The curiosity leads to action. Thanks for the info. Verizon, already get that one. Got it. All righty. Oh, ADP. Beverly wants to take a look at ADP. ADP. Automatic data processing. I used to use ADP when I had my manufacturing company many, many years ago. Here's the top, here's the bottom. Here's where it was. Here's where it is. Look at this. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Yeah, okay. Nice. Bottom of the year is right there. You're going to make your most money buying low, selling high. You can't get any lower than the low of the year. I'm going to apologize for you guys on YouTube. Terribly sorry. There's no way to invert the camera unless you're going to go to a different channel. Okay, but here's your bottom. She's bouncing off there very nicely. Get the high of the year way up here. That is a lot of real estate to cover. So let's see, can we make money on it? Do all of them pay dividends? Okay, Librado, all the ones that I look at do, because that's what I want to do. Okay, SP81 looks like Hormel is changing to monthly options mid-January. Not necessarily so, okay? Because they only put like 5 or 6 of them weeks, and then they go months. And as the weeks drop off, they add more weeks. Okay, so you're only seeing like 6 weeks at a time. Okay, so probably not. But good observation, though. When do you sell those stocks? Too fun. What's happening? Okay. I don't really sell them. I let them be taken away from me, or somebody exercises their option. Because I will buy a stock, I will hold on to it. I will get me a nice little premium, and at the end of the week, I will push it forward into the next week. Get another premium, and I will push it forward at some point in time where it keeps going up, 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 up. It just doesn't make any sense to do it anymore, because at a certain point, the market maker stops giving you the full 1%. That's a time to let it get taken away. Get all your money back and find something else. There's plenty of companies in the stock market to choose. Choose wisely. Now, the strategy I'm giving you for free, I'm not going to ask for any of your money. I'm not going to ask for your email. I'm not going to ask for anything. But what I'm going to tell you is, okay, pick some good companies. There's 5 rules that I go by. Okay, we'll look at BBWI in a minute. Okay, hold on tight. I go by 5 different rules because the strategy that I'm showing you here tonight, I created it specifically for my 9-year-old daughter. Okay, my 9-year-old, you're probably thinking 9-year-old daughter, yeah, stock, no, that doesn't make any sense. No, it doesn't make any sense at all. What 9-year-old little girl wants to play in the stock market? There has to be one, right? It was mine. Okay, so one day in 2008, okay, my daughter says, Daddy, what are you doing? Can you teach me? Okay, not, okay, Daddy, can we go buy a dress? Daddy, can we get my hair done? Daddy, can we get my nails done? Daddy, can you buy me this? Daddy, this, Daddy. No, Daddy, can you teach me? So how do you teach a 9-year-old how to invest in the stock market? So I got a couple of criteria to create a trading strategy specifically for her. Simple. After all, she's only 9. Safe. I don't want her losing because she's going to cry. I'm going to feel like crap. Mama's going to get involved. I'm going to be sleeping on the couch. Some of you guys understand that one. If Mama's unhappy, you're sleeping on the couch. That reminds me of just move it on over, slide it on over, move over, cool dog, hot dogs moving in. That side's yours and this side's mine. Okay, anyway, it's an old song. Some of you may know it. But anyway, simple, safe, predictable, consistent. No way for her to lose. Now, when I say no way for her to lose, you always have a bunch of people freaking out. What do you mean you can't lose? I'm talking about a 9-year-old. Okay? I would hand pick certain stocks specifically just for her. Riley, we'll get to that one also. I hand pick specific stocks just for her. Dividend kings, dividend aristocrats, dividend champions, dividend contenders, and anything on Warren Buffett's list. So that's all my daughter ever knew existed. She didn't know there was 10,000 different companies. She only knew there was about 300. That's it. That's all she knew because she didn't need to know all that other stuff. There's an old saying, it's a need to know situation. She didn't need to know because she didn't need to know. It's just that simple. Okay? So, simple, safe, predictable, consistent, no way to lose. So, with the 5 criteria comes 5 rules. We all love rules, don't we? Rule number 1, Never buy something you do not want to hold or do not want to own. For my 9-year-old daughter, it was never buy something that's not on the list. You know how easy that is? This is your, hold on, let's go back to, let me pull up one of the lists so you can see. Here we go. Here's one of the lists. Coca-Cola, McDonald's, Stanley Black & Decker, Lennar, Chubb, Albemarle, ADP, Kimberly-Clark, Pepsi, Cardinal Health, ADP, Nucor, Illinois Tool Works, T. Rowe Price, Cincinnati Financial, McKesson. Come on, you've heard of almost every single one of those. So for my 9-year-old daughter, everything on her list, it consisted of about 300 companies, and that's it. Because those are the companies that are consistently profitable for more than 2 decades. And for a 9-year-old, that's it. You get, now when I was growing up, oh, want some ice cream? Chocolate or vanilla? That was it. You know how excited we were when they came up with strawberry? I remember when they came up with strawberry because it happened in my lifetime. When I was a kid, chocolate or vanilla. That's all there was. You know how excited we were when there was chocolate milk available at breakfast? Want some milk? Yeah, sure, why not? Do we like some chocolate milk? Ooh, then we'd freak out. And that was back in the 70s. So you guys that grew up in the 80s and 90s, well, you know what you can do. We paved the way. We had crap and paved the way so you guys had better stuff. Okay, growing up, we had 3 channels, ABC, CBS, and NBC. We really didn't consider, what was that one, PBS? We really didn't consider that as a TV station. What was on there? Zoom and Sesame Street, that's about it. Wait a minute, The Electric Company. There was a couple other ones, kids shows. Yeah, growing up, we had 3 channels, ABC, CBS, NBC. Every night you had that big beep. We said off air. Do you remember that? Some people remember that. You turn the TV on, all it was this big, huge circle with a couple of dots in it. It says off the air. Nowadays, it's television 24 hours a day. No, growing up in the 60s and 70s, you had this much time to watch TV because after this time, the broadcasting system just turned off. And at night, 2, 3, 4 in the morning, nothing. You get snow. That was it. All right, back to where we were. La 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 la. Where were we? I get sidetracked easy. Sorry. Okay, so here we are at ADP. High, low was is. Look at this. Down, up, blah, 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 blah. Okay, right there, 260. The 260 is going from 220 to 430. Almost can get out 1%. Not quite, but close. Okay, if I'm going to buy it at 260, I want at least 260 as a profit. It's only offering me 220. Okay, so what is that? Like 0.8, 0.85? Not a full 1%, but are you okay with it? That's the big question. Now, I'm not going to do this one because it's not worth it for me to do it because it just doesn't work. All right, so let's keep on going. Jarf, do you ever sell calls below your cost basis and then roll them forward every single week, Jarf? Every single week, something is doing that. Jamil, good evening. How are you today? Jaden, 2-2 turn. All right. Joshua, any feeling on RBRK before earnings? I'm long them December 5. Joshua, hold that thought. Going to come to your rescue, Josh. I have no idea because I have no idea what RBRK is. Rubric. Never heard of it, dude. But it does look interesting. Check it out. Top, bottom. Whoops, yeah. Double bottom. Look at that. Bottom, bottom. Okay. Up, down, sideways, down, up. Okay. That right there looks pretty good. Because once you zoom in to the last 90 days, okay, here's your last 90 days. Up, down, up. Okay, the high was 88, bottom was 66. Now we're at 71. Okay, nice movement. So, what do we want to do? Last 30 days. Still looks pretty good. Up, down, down. Okay, 30-day top, 30-day bottom. Now she's going up. Why the hell not, right? It makes sense. To me, it makes sense. It's got to make sense to you. Okay, if this is what you want to do, I mean, how are you going to invest your money? Because think about it. All right, we're the only species on the planet that's got to pay to live here. As you're working, you get paid. You get paid. You pay your bills, your car, your house, your insurance, your food, your entertainment. At some point, when you are no longer able to continue working, you know, when you get in your 70s, 80s, and 90s, and whether you like the idea or not, it's coming. You really honestly think I want to be 62? Hell no. I'd rather be 32, 22. Hell, 12 would work for me. Anyway, so yeah, I like this right there. 71.41. I'm gonna look at the 72s. Look at that big freaking number, $5. That's close to 6%. Now, I'm willing to bet, Joshua, that this company doesn't have any dividends. That's probably why that premium is so high. So for that, we're going to go to Yahoo Finance. We're going to put that in here. What is it? RBRK. All right, here we go. Okay, Riley, I haven't forgot about you. We're going to take a look at that BBWI and Tesla in a little bit. When you invest, you mean you pay the full amount of the 100 shares? Yeah. All right, hold on. Yep, just what I thought. No dividends. Josh, this thing has no dividends, brother. Why are we looking at it? I'll keep looking at it and tell you what it looks like. But here's the thing. When the stock drops, you're not collecting anything. Now, the reason, Josh, I like dividend stocks, specifically dividend stocks that consistently profitable, it means their dividends get higher and higher every year. So if the stock drops, I should say when the stocks drop, because they all do. They do two things and only two things. They go up and they go down. You buy it, it's going to go up. And guess what? Then it's going to go down. So when it's going down, if it is a dividend stock that consistently increases, as the stock drops, I'll still be getting a dividend. It doesn't matter what price I bought it for or what I sold or you know where it's going. When you buy and own a stock, especially a dividend stock, when it comes time to share the profits, if you own one of the shares, you get a portion of the profits. So that's the reason why I only do dividend stocks, because the one you're talking about, RBRK, it may look good today, profit may look good today, but in a couple of weeks when the stock's dropping, okay, if you don't do covered calls on it and you just want to collect the dividend, it doesn't have one. Okay, that's one of those companies that put the money back into the stock so it will grow. All right, so get back to where we were. All right, so let's do the 72s, even though I'd rather not, but Josh did ask, right? Just that we all know that this company doesn't have a dividend, but we're going to do it anyway. Just for you, Josh. All right, market. There we go. One contract. And here is what it sounds like. You ready? By one, covered call RBRK, 12 December 25. That means it's not this coming Friday, because this coming Friday is the 5th. Next Friday is the 12th. So if you buy it tomorrow morning, or if you already own it and you sell somebody the rights to buy it from you at 72, because right now the price is 71.93. That's the current price right now if I want to buy it. So if I buy it here, I sell this right here, I'm making $560 and it's only costing me $6,000. Think about it. If I'm creating a weekly cash producing asset, I just have to buy it once. If I buy 100 shares, I own one contract. 500 shares, it's 5 contracts. It doesn't matter what the price is. Doesn't matter what you bought it for. You can buy it at $100. You buy 500 shares at $100 a share. Okay? You still have 5 contracts. If the stock drops down to $5 from 100, goes down to 5, guess what? You still have 5 contracts. Okay, when you have 5 contracts, you have the ability to collect a premium every single week until that stock retraces and you can sell it for a profit. Okay, so what am I looking for? I'm looking to collect the dividends and I'm looking to collect the premiums. 1% every week. That's my goal. Okay, sometimes it works. Most of the time it works. Every once in a while it doesn't. Every once in a while the stock drops. Well, they all drop. You just got to buy it at the right time because they drop, hits the bottom, turns around, goes back up. That's all they do. They go down, they go up, they go up, they go down, down, up, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, here we go. Let's check out the profitability on this one. Not that I'm suggesting it. Josh wanted to know. So, Josh, if I owned it and I wanted to do a covered call, I'd sell somebody the rights to buy it from me for basically the same price I paid for it. And then I'll collect that premium. And then if it hits my target this week, great, I'll take my profits and walk my way. Or I will take a look at it Thursday afternoon or Friday and say, should I take it and push it forward into next week? Maybe yes, maybe no. It all depends what the numbers are. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words. Well, great. Show me the picture. Show me the chart. Show me the trade. I want to see where the stock is moving. I want to see what did I buy? What did I sell? Where is it going? Okay, if we drop below 50, I'm going to reboot on that one right there. I should reboot on that one, but nobody's ever there. All right, anyway, let's keep on going. Clear this. Profit is 560. Okay, we're going to divide it by the investment. What is that, 6640? Holy shit, 8%, Josh. 8%. Now, it doesn't have dividends. So, yeah, even though it's offering 8%, it's nothing that I'm going to do because I really don't do most of the time non-dividend stocks, especially stocks I've never heard of. I've never heard of this thing. I have no idea what they do. I have no idea if they're even profitable. Without a dividend, that means I have to go in and take a look at the 20 years of annual statements. Is this company consistently profitable? Now I have to do some digging. Yeah, sorry. There's 300 companies that I don't have to do all this work on. Yeah, it's getting 8%. You might make a hell of a lot more money than I do. But I'm not interested in a lot of money. I'm interested in safety, predictability, and consistency. And I'm perfectly happy with 1%. I should say perfectly content. Change my words. I'm perfectly content with 1% a week. If I get 2 or 3, that works too. All right, so let's save this one just for Josh. All righty. And let's take a gander at it. You ready? Where did it go? There it is. There it is. Yay. All righty. Oh, wow, look at how nice and big that is. Yeah, baby. All right, RBRK, 12 December. That's next Friday. The $72 call option. That means I'm selling somebody the rights to buy it from me at 72 between tomorrow morning when I sell the option and the time that the option expires, which is 12 December at 3:59 p.m. Because at 4 o'clock p.m., market closes in your SOL. It's 560 the profit, 6,600 is my investment. And that is an 8% return. Whoa. %. What else do we have next? Down to earth landscaping. How much do you need in stocks to have a healthy dividend return? All right, so down to earth landscaping. I'm not looking for the dividends. All right. Now, it may look like I'm looking for a dividend. I'm not. I'm looking for the premium. Hold on a second. Let me explain the difference between the two. Let me just get rid of this stuff first. Okay, we have to find a different stock because this one doesn't have a dividend. Let's look at, we just did it a little while ago. Hewlett Packard, HPE. Oh, wait a minute. Wait. We need something that has a dividend coming up. T. Rowe Price, Albemarle, Chubb, Wally World. We all love Wally World. All right, so 23 cents. What are you kidding? Chubb has 90. Oh, look at this. ADP. ADP, $1.70. Right there. Albemarle, 40 cents. Chubb, 97. Wally World, 23. Those are the dividends. Now, the difference between a dividend and a premium, a dividend is a portion of the corporation's profits that they pass along to the investors. So, check this out, down to earth. You ready? Let's take a look at ADP. It's paying $1.70 every 90 days. Now, do you understand that every 90 days, which is 1 quarter, there's 13 weeks. 13 weeks in 1 quarter. That means if I take this $1.70 and divide it into 13 individual slices, that's less than 12 cents a week. Okay, so what is the premium on that? Is it more than 12 cents a week? Let's take a look. ADP. Okay. All right, so hypothetically speaking, the stock is at 260.91. So the 260 is right here. So here's the thing. If I buy it for 260, now I am entitled to that $1.70 dividend once every 90 days. Or if I buy 100 shares, that's 1 contract. 1 contract would give me $2.20 per share every single week. Well, at least for this week. Next week, what does it look like? The 260, 340 next week. So these numbers are going to change each and every week. But do the math. If the dividend is $1.70 and they pay it once per quarter, which is once every 13 weeks, a weekly option, even if it's at $2, that's still $2 multiplied by 13 times because it's 13 weeks in a quarter. So what do you want? Do you want that dividend, which is $1.70 for 1 quarter every 13 weeks, or do you want to get the $2.20 every single week? Okay, once you do the math on it, it's like, why the hell would I want to collect the dividend when I can collect this premium every single week? That's why I do weekly options. Now, don't get me wrong. If I buy the stock, all right, hold on. Let's check this out. Back to there. Okay. Now, we were talking about Albemarle right there, which is the 12th. Okay. So if I bought Albemarle Monday, I would have collected that $2.20, which is more than the dividend. Remember, the dividend's only $1.70. The premium is $2.20. So if I buy it here, okay, I collect that $2.20. If it hits my target, great, I'm out and I got more than the dividend. But if it didn't, and I had to hold on to it longer, oh, boo-hoo for me. Okay, I still get that $2.20. Now I get to do it all over again, pick up another $2.20, and then collect the dividend. So $2.20 for the premium, another $200 for the premium, then $1.70 for the dividend. That just almost tripled my income if you're a dividend investor. See, some people buy stocks just to collect the dividends. Great. 5, 10, 15% annual return or yield, whatever way you want to look at it. Why not do it on a weekly basis? Why do annual? Because annually is only once per year. Yeah, no thank you. I would prefer weekly. It does take a little bit more work, but think about it. You can triple your income by 10 minutes a week. 10 minutes a day. All right. So it's almost like you come home one day, either your wife, your husband, or your kids brought home a dog or a cat. Now you got to spend 10 or 15 minutes every single day. feeding the dog, feeding the cat, taking out the bowl, rinsing it out, doing that, taking it out for a walk, blah, blah, blah. I'd rather get a stock portfolio and 10, 15 minutes on that every day. Because at least when I'm retired, I'll have that nice income and get as many cats and dogs as I want then. All right, let's keep going next. Joshua, XYLD will yield 10% with minimal drag. Okay. If you want XYLD, fine. I mean, don't get me wrong, it may be great for some people, but not for me, because it doesn't give me something I want. Weekly cash flow. What is it? XYLD, XYLD. It's a monthly. Hell no. Wasn't that quick? Hell no. Now, you know why I say hell no to the monthly? Okay, December, January, February, May, because you can only do it once a month. That's the difference between a monthly option and a weekly option. Weekly option, I can do it every single week. Get a nice return, 1% every week. That's 50% a year. If I'm getting 1 or 2% and I do monthly, what am I getting? 12 to 24% a year? Might be good for you guys, but not me. TMB around 20 grand. Okay. Joshua Renshaw Finfluencer. Okay. TMB around 20K. Okay. Tufan, when you invest, yep, that makes right. Okay. Yep. Thank you, Jose. Purchase on call. Okay, strategy works, but you have to be consistent in selecting stocks that meet the criteria. Thank you, Jose. Muchas gracias, senor. All right, we're done there. Yeah, I don't do annually. Okay, down to earth landscaping. Joshua, yep. Nope, I wouldn't do XYLD, but that's me, and I'm not telling you what to do. Jim! AGMJF. What the hell is that, Jim? AGMJF. What the hell is that? Oh, Algama Cent Corporate. Oh, hell no. Dude, look at this thing. What the hell is that? And no options. So, Jim, I'm going to say no, but thank you. Theta Decay. Yep, Joshua, here we go. They should let me do synthetics in the IRA. They should, but they don't. Mr. Wizard, what happens if the price of stock falls hard? All right, Jim. Wait, who said that one? Mr. Wizard. If the stock drops hard. AT&T. Do you mean like this? That's AT&T. Hold on. MSFT. All right. Do you mean like this? Do you mean like this? Hold on. We got some more. Ford. Oh, no, not really. Ford. Down. No big drops on Ford. All right. General Motors. No big drops on General Motors. But it's looking like one. Look at this. We're going to have one on General Motors soon. All stocks drop. All of them. Oh, you mean kind of like this? That's a big drop. Here's another big drop. They all drop. All drop. So, Mr. Wizard, when I said, when you buy a stock, when you buy 100 shares of a stock, that is equal to one option contract. So, if I bought it at $12, I have one contract. 100 shares, one contract. If it's at 26, yeah, that's a 100% increase, but I still only have one contract. Okay, 100 shares equals one contract. Okay, one contract has nothing to do with stock price. Nothing. Absolutely nothing to do with the stock price. One contract is one contract. Okay, if I buy it at $12, I buy it at $24, it doesn't really matter. One contract is one contract. And then when I have one contract, I can sell in the money, at the money, or out of the money. Okay? ATM, ITM, OTM. In the money, out of the money, at the money. Separation. See? Purple, black, and there's a line right there. The line is at the money. Stock price, $22.26. Okay, between 22 and 22.50. There's the 22.26 right there. That is at the money. Okay, anything less than 22.26 is in the money. Anything above 22.26 is out of the money. Okay, so as long as I have one contract, doesn't matter what I bought it for, I have the ability to get a weekly cash flow from it. And that's what I'm looking for. Simple, safe, predictable, consistent 1% per week. Let's go to the next question. Okay, Eric wants to take a look at Oracle. Oh, look at this big drop. Who came up with the big drop? 340 to 180. There's a big drop. What happens? Well, they all do it. They all drop. They go up, they go down. Okay? Down, up, down, up, down. Where do you think it's going next? Up. Right. Follow along. Follow the bouncing ball. Boop, beep, 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 whatever. Okay. Jose, too fine. Yes. Covered calls requires purchase of 100 shares. Yep. Jose, strategy works, but you have to get. Yep, got that one. Dr. Dev, good evening. Good evening, good evening, and how are you? Good evening, good evening. Let's go to the zoo. I sound what's his name? Dr. Seuss. All right, what happens if the price falls hard? Yep, Mr. Wizzy, we already talked about that one. If you sold the call, depends, blah, blah, blah. Okay, yep. Jed, Christian, new here. Cool beans. Unless you want to own them. Absolutely. I don't want to own them. If it's not given yet, Dr. Seuss. Let me see if I come up with a good one. Hold on. I sat there with Sally, we sat there, we two, and how I said we had something to do. It was too wet to go out, too cold to play ball. We sat in the house, we did nothing at all. All we could do was to sit, 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 sit. Did we like it? No, not one little bit. That is when we saw him step in on the mat. That is when we saw him, the cat in the hat. And he said to us, why do you sit there like that? I know it is cold and the sun is not sunny, but we could have lots of good fun. That is fun. I could keep going. It's terrible that I actually know that at the top of my head. You could probably tell I read that book to my kids almost every single night. Merci beaucoup. Bravo, bravo. Okay, anyway, so let's keep on going. What are we looking at now? Oracle. I love Oracle. I do. Look at this top bond. Boom. Love it. Let's take a closer look. A year ago, gonna need the glasses. Need the glasses. All right, a year ago, 178.91. We bottomed out, TDS, 119.89. Now we go from 119, check this out, 119 to 340. That's not 100%. That's a 200% increase. How often does that happen? How often do you buy at the bottom? And be honest with yourself. I honestly told you in my 30 years, never, ever, 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 ever have I found the bottom. Never, ever, ever have I found the top. Never. And I've been doing this for 30 years. I quit looking for the bottom, quit looking for the top years ago. Okay, so somebody found it, 119 to 340. She drops hard. Who said that? Drops hard. Now we're bouncing. Here we go. 207 at the moment. Do you like Oracle? Is this a company that you could buy, own, hold on to, collect a premium every single week until it hits your target? Because as the stock is going, so if I buy here, as the stock is going up, the premiums are going to decrease until it gets to a point where it's less than 1%. At that point, let it go. Why? Because it's going to go up and then it's going to pull back. When she pulls back, because remember, the stock is on my list. And if it's on my list, it will always stay on my list. So when she goes up, I take my profits. When she comes back down, that's when I buy it again. I jump in, grab my profit. As she's dropping, I watch it. Okay, every single week, I'm writing stuff down. Take a look at some of this stuff. Okay, this is my book for this year. Okay, so let's take a look. Let's go back here. See, every night you guys have me take a look at stuff, and I used to write them all down. Take a look. Look at all those stocks that I wrote down for you guys. All right. Okay. More. Oh, all right. More. This is how long I've been. This is just this year. This book is just this year. These are all the stocks that we go through every single night. So yeah. So this is what I have for this week. Okay. This is what I have for next week. Not many yet, because we're still in the beginning of the week. All right. So yeah, anytime I come across something good, I write it down. When the stock is dropping, I say, all right, 2-3 weeks, I'm gonna write it down for 2 weeks from today. Anytime I do that, it gives me a possible trade that's only a week away. Because think about it. Stock goes up, I grab my profits, I jump out, and then as it pops up again, then I jump in again. It's like a merry-go-round. Remember, it goes round and round and round. Jump on, take the ride, jump off. When it gets the right time, jump back on, get your profit, jump off. It's not that difficult. It's relatively simple. All right, so what else do we got? What else do we have for me today? Uh-oh, what was I doing? Okay, Melove Frenchie, how much can I start with? You can start with $50 if you want. Okay, because you have to decide. Okay, and Mel, okay, I always tell people when you are starting, don't put any real money in. Paper trade for a while. It's kind of like Monopoly. Remember Monopoly? Okay, three greenhouses, one red hotel. Is it 4 greenhouses? 4 greenhouses, one red hotel. Go around, collect $200 every time you pass go. Blah blah blah. All that kind of nice, neat, fun stuff. Okay, let's keep on keeping on. All right, so Oracle. Let's take a look at the last 30 days. Here we go. Check that out. Here's the top, bottom. She's slowly going up. Not fast, but your top is here, bottom's here. Now it's moving up. 207.74. So I want to look at the 207.50s. $12. Oh, hell yeah. Well, let's do this one. Give me a $12 premium. Hell yeah. All right, let's get out of this. Let's go back to the covered call. Simple, safe, predictable. Love it, love it, love it. Next week, we're going to do the, what did I say? 209s. No, wait a minute. 208, 207.50s. All right, 207.50s. There we go. Yeah, but wait a second. The stock's at 208, which I should probably, the 207.50s. All right, that makes sense. It's a safe trade. I love safe trades. All right, one contract. Now, some of you people may not like this because it's a $200 stock. Okay, $200 stock, it gets a little pricey. It's not as bad as those $600-$700 stocks. Okay, this one's only $19,000. All right, so here we go. Buy one covered call Oracle, 12 December. That's not this Friday, it's next Friday. Remember, we're doing weekly options. Every Friday, there's a new option for us to play with. 12 December, the 207.50 call option against Oracle at the market, blah, blah, blah. Here's my profit, $1,100. That's my profit, $1,100 for one contract. $1,100. It's going to cost me 20 grand though. But here's the thing. It's not costing me anything. It's an investment, which means I'm getting that money back at some point. Okay, so I'm buying the stock and eventually someone's going to buy it back from me so I get that money back. But my profit, $1,100. Let's see what the rate of return is for 1 week. For what is this? Oracle. Okay, calculate. Here we go. 1172 is the profit. We're going to divide it by the investment, 19,578. 19,578. 5.9%. Now, I would do this one. I like Oracle. All right. I learned something interesting about Oracle that some of you guys may or may not know. The owner of Oracle, his son has his own business. Now, when the old boy Oracle passes, his son's going to merge the two companies together. And then watch out. All right, so 5.9. Gotta love it. There we go. There we go. Let's do this. Tra-la-la. 5.9, you say. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There it is. Look at that. Oracle. 12 December. The 207.50 call option. 1,100 is the profit. 19,000 is the investment. Just think, you're upgrading to a new vending machine. Vending machine that gives you money every single week. And the vending machine is called Oracle. Buy yourself a vending machine. Put a big old Oracle sticker on it. And every single Friday, you come back and you get $1,100 or somewhere close to that. That number's going to change every week. But you know what's not going to change? The amount of the amount of contracts in which you have. When you buy an option, reverse that. When you buy a stock, 100 shares, you have one contract. You have the ability to have one contract. That number never changes until you sell. Something stuck there. I'm not quite used to that. All right. And what did we say this one was? 5.9. Let's call it 6. Wow, these are some nice numbers. Nice numbers. 5, 8, and 6. Hell yeah. All right, let's get rid of this one. Let's go back down here to YouTube, see what you guys have down here. Uh-oh. Ooh, Jelly Yanni wants to take a look at AAL, American Airlines. All right, while we're doing that, we're going to take a look what you guys doing down here on YouTube. I have to own the stock to sell calls, so I could be losing value if the stock price goes down. All right, Mr. Wizard, see if I can explain it to you again. Let's say, Mr. Wizard, all right, pay attention closely. A cash producing asset has a certain value, okay? If you own a boat servicing company, you have a boat that costs you X amount of dollars. You rent it out, you collect that income. If you have rental property, okay, a little bit bigger, okay, the house next door, 400 or 500 grand. Wonderful. Now you have a monthly cash producing asset. So let's say you buy a house, the house right next door. Okay. Someone comes by, he prays it 500 grand. Great. It's worth 500 grand. You paid 500 grand for it. Wonderful. Now, next week, is it going to be worth 500 grand? Who knows? The value goes up and down with the market. As the market goes up, the value of your house goes up. As the market goes down, the value of your house goes down. Okay? If you have a limousine service and you're the only service in the city, the value of your service goes up. But as soon as someone comes else and competes with you, your value of your assets go down because of the market. Markets push prices up. Market pushes prices down. It all depends on the asset. The asset we're talking here is Oracle. Okay? So if you buy 500 shares, you have 5 contracts. If you buy those contracts, if you buy the shares at 200, you have 5 contracts. If the stock drops down to 100, that's a 50% reduction in your asset. So what? You still have 5 contracts. 5 contracts. All right, let's change this. With your 5 contracts, you have opportunity. In the money, at the money, out of the money. It doesn't matter the stock price if you never, ever, ever sell for less than what you paid for it. So what I say, every time I look at my portfolio, it's always, 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 what did I buy? What did I pay for it? What did I sell against it? What is it at now? Where does it look like it's going? And what should I do next? Stocks always go up. Stocks always go down. You never, ever, ever, ever lose money until you agree to sell it for less than what you paid for it. Okay? Mr. Wizard stocks go up, they go down. That's all they do. You buy it, it's going to go down. You buy it, it's going to go up. It's a 50-50 shot. It's going to go up, it's going to go down, one or the other. But what's not going to change is how many contracts you have the ability to buy and sell. Okay? Don't keep focusing on the stock price. Focus on whether or not the company is consistently profitable. Okay? Do they have weekly options? What direction are they going? They're either going up, or they're going down, or they're going sideways. One or the other or the other. Okay, stop focusing on the stock value going down. It means absolutely nothing until you agree to sell it for less than what you paid for it. If you never sell it for less than what you paid for it, as long as you have the ability to sell a contract, 1, 5, 10, 30, 500, whatever, never sell for less than what you paid for it. Keep the cash flow rolling every single week. But be leery to stay away from companies kind of like this. Energy Transfer. The reason why I'm saying Energy Transfer, 10000. You're getting nothing. Nothing, because the premiums are horrible. AGNC. 0000. You're getting nothing if it's going down. I stay away from those companies because the value of the contract is useless. Take a look at Dell. 340, 290, 250, 214, 180, 149. The price is 133. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 strikes out of the money. I'm still getting over 1% because it's awesome premiums. Some companies have great premiums. Some companies have horrible premiums. So remember the 5 rules. 1, never buy something you don't want to hold on to long term. 2, never sell at a loss. 3, make sure the company is consistently profitable. 4, weekly options only. 5, make sure all the numbers work. What am I buying it for? What am I selling? What am I collecting? Is that 1% or more? What are these looking like? These ones look great, by the way. They do. Some companies have great premiums. Some companies have crappy premiums. You can do whatever you want. I'm just showing you what I do. Okay? Okay, I'm going to reboot here because the numbers are just terrible. Do you read comments, Andrew? Yes, I do. APLD. We'll take a look at that in a minute. Let's do APLD. Why are we doing APLD? Nice numbers. Ooh, nice. Take a look at that. High, low. Where was it? Where is it? Sideways, up, down, up. Okay. Let's zoom into that. Take a look at that. High, low, is, up, down, up. Okay, so 20 to 30. Do you see this? The bottom's at 20. Right now, we're at 30. 20 to 30 is a 50% increase. Keep that in mind. Okay? There is going to be profit taking soon. Think about it. You bought a stock, what is that, 2 weeks ago? Now it's 50% higher. Are you going to take the profits, or are you just going to hold on to it? Okay, remember, there's 2 rules that go along with that. Not really 2 rules, but 2 tidbits of information that might be handy. Number 1, it's not a profit until you take it. Number 2, nobody ever went broke taking profits. Keep that in mind. Nobody ever went broke taking profits. So, the last 30 days. It looks good. Take a look. Your top, bottom, back up again. Great. Let's do one at 29.50. Okay, it's good. Look. The current price, 29.36. The closest strike price is going to be the 29 or the 29.50. Well, I'll take the 29.50. 190. Okay, that's over 6% if you like APLD. So let's take a look. Let's do one. Let's do one on APLD. We'll do it for you. We'll do it for me. All right, trust. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Right there. One contract. Blah, 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 blah. There we go. All right, here's the market price. And here's Johnny. Buy one covered call APLD, 12 December. That's next Friday. The 29.50 call option. If I buy the stock tomorrow morning, 29.36, I'm going to sell somebody the rights. It's just the rights to it. It's like they can buy it if they want to. They don't have to, but they can if they want to. Do you understand that? It's like putting a car in your front yard. DMAC, greenhouse, SPEC. Ooh, take a look at that in a minute. You're new here. How you doing? Hello, hello. How? Anyway. All right, APLD. 215 is the profit. 2,700 is the investment. Let's take a look at the rate of return for 1 week. Now remember, you have to change your thinking because we're not investing for annual returns anymore. We're investing for weekly returns. So does it make sense? Do you like the company? These are all good, valid questions. Calculator. 213.50 divided by case. Do you see that? Maximum profit, 213. Cost of the trade, including commissions and fees, 27.37. All right, what's that rate of return? Divide that, 27.37, 27.37. Grand total of 7. Holy shit, where are these numbers coming from? Why weren't these numbers here on Monday? I got 1.2, 1.3, 2% on Monday. Today's Wednesday, and we're looking at 7%, 8%, 6%. Doesn't that just go figure? But you know what? I'm perfectly happy with my 1%. I wouldn't say perfectly happy. I'm going to say content. Well, I think mildly content. No, wait a minute. Appreciatively content. Ooh, that's a good one. Appreciatively content. All right, so here it is. APLD. Oh, wow. Oh, that's a little too big. Right there. Here we go. Okay. APLD, 12 December. Wait a minute. Yeah, 12 December. That's next Friday. Okay. The 29.50 call option. That means I buy the stock tomorrow morning at the market at the opening of the day. I simultaneously, I don't have to do it because the computer does it for me. A covered call, you buy the option, you buy the stock, you sell the option at almost the exact same price. Same time, sorry. Because you have to own the stock before you can sell the option. Not really, but that's the way it goes. Buy the stock 2 seconds later or half a second later to sell the option. Then that money gets put into my account immediately. Okay? 27 is the investment. So that's 7.8% for 1 week. Actually, it's a week and a half. We got 2 days left. Thursday, Friday, this week. And then next week, we got 5 more days. There we go. Whoops. And what was this one? This one was 7.8. Nice. Look at that. 7.8, 6, 8, 4.7. Where were these numbers on Monday? Today's Wednesday night. We had 2 more days. All my money's invested. All my money's invested on Monday. Okay, I do most of my 98% of all my trading is done on Monday. Very rarely will I buy something Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. But that's a nice number, 7.8. Anyway, get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of this. Go back to here. And what do we have over here? We did Oracle. Earnings are tomorrow. Yep, got that one. Thank you, Lonnie. Eric. Employment down, ADP looking for bottom. Okay. Okay, Demic Greenhouse. Okay, Demic Greenhouse wants to take a look at SPEC. SPEC. Try it one more time. SPEC. Hell no. What the hell is that? Dude, dividend stocks. Dividend stocks. Okay? That wasn't a dividend stock. 2 decades of increased profits. That means the company's got to be at least 25 years old. At least. Anyway, Mel, WEE, never heard of it. That's probably why we cannot find that symbol. Sorry, dude. That's a no. Okay, we did APLD. All right, let's, Mr. Wizard, you got it. You got it. You got to go. Mel. Okay, Mel says, I lost $9,000 this year doing puts, but it was my fault being greedy. Covered calls is way. All right, didn't get the rest of that thought, but all right, Mel. Mel, you know what they call that? They call that a learning process, learning curve. Now, I don't feel bad for you, Mel, because I lost 91,000 once being greedy. 91,000 once being greedy, Mel. Yeah, you lost 9. Not as. All right, anyway, let's see. What do we got next? All right, what do you guys got to have going down here? Buy medium. I have no idea what that means. CLS. What the hell is CLS? CLS. Interesting. It's going to be a no, though. And the reason why it's going to be no, look at this. Here's your top. Now she's pulling back. Okay? See, up, down, down. It's in a downturn at the moment. If you really like it, write it down. Do something else. Paul, I've been using your strategy for 3 weeks. I've made 4% so far. Thanks. Yay, Paul. Good going, Paul. Paul, a little tidbit of advice. Okay? Number 1, don't be greedy. Share your profits. Okay? Bears make money, bulls make money, pigs get slaughtered. Okay? Buy a good quality stock. Do a safe, predictable trade. It only takes 5 or 10 minutes. Oh, SB 1981 wants to take a look at Lockheed Martin. All right. HRL, Hormel. Yep, I know that one. Hormel has earnings tomorrow. I don't pay attention to the earnings. Okay, I've seen plenty of companies that have positive earnings and the stocks drop. I've seen companies have negative, terrible earnings and the stocks go up. Price goes up. So it's not definite. Sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. In some companies, the market maker overreacts to the information, especially with Target. Whoever that Target market maker is a genius. He is. Okay? You may not like what he does, but if you think about it and you look at the numbers, he's pretty freaking genius. Let's keep going. Renand, Mon's time. Okay, let's do APLD. We already did that one. Got me some Dell. All righty, Silo. Nice job, Paul. Do trinkets? Do you only sell options? No, I do a lot of stuff, but this is the only thing that I give away for free because it's simple, it's easy, it's predictable, it's consistent, and if you do it right, there's no way to lose. If you do it right. Now, most people are going to lose money by hitting the wrong button. I'm guilty of it too. I did it 4 times this year. Hit the wrong button 4 times. One time I was live in front of an audience. I hit the wrong button. Everybody watched me hit the wrong button, and nobody said a thing. I lost $2,500 in a split second, and nobody said everything. I turned around and looked at everybody. You guys all suck. You saw me do it. You didn't say anything. Anyway, Alibaba. Kev, I'm going to say no to Alibaba. They have only 2 years of dividends. No. Silo, IBRT. I have no idea who that is. IBRT. Dow Jones Commodity Index 2X inverse bent crude. What the hell is that? You can't find that symbol. Okay, it's not. Oh wow, hurt myself the other day. Leon, how you doing? All right, I'm going to pause for a moment here, and I'm going to go down and see what's going on YouTube. Remember the snow? RLC remembers the snow. All right, Silo, Meta, same thing. Only has dividends for 2 years. No. Okay, what do we have going on down here? ADP, we already did that one. Mohammed, how are you today? Oh, BAX. Isn't that Baxter? BAX? It is. It's Baxter. Now, Baxter is one of those dividend kings. They've been around for over 100 years, over 5 decades of increased profits. Here we go. Here's the high. Here's the low. Look at this. Down, up, down, sideways, down, sideways, down, sideways. 1889. The 19 is going for 35. That's 3%. If you like Baxter, here's the question. You got a company here, 100 years old, 5 decades of increased profits. The bottom of the year was last week. You've heard it hundreds of times. Buy low, sell high. You cannot get any lower than the low of the year. There it is right there. 100-year-old company. Okay, down, up, down, up. Check that out. 1889, the 19s are paying over 3%. Why the hell? Wait a minute. No, the 19s paying 2%. Sorry, 2%. If you like Baxter, let's take a look. Get rid of that. We want to do the 19s. 19, right there. Covered call. There it is, there it is, there it is. And let's do market order. Let's do one contract. And here's Johnny. Buy one covered call Baxter. 12 December. 19 call option against the stock at the market. $56 is the profit. 1,800 is the investment. 1,800 for one contract. How many can you get? 7? 50? 132? We all have a different amount of money to play with. You got to find out what is right for you, because we're all on our own different path. We all have our own different journey. We all have our different set of circumstances, our different set of criteria, and our own different risk factors. What can you do to make a profit and still be able to sleep like a baby at night? I shouldn't say that, because babies don't sleep very well at night. They cry. I've had 4 of them. Yeah, they cry. And my grandson's at 6. Anyway, let's keep on going. All right, so let's try out what the profit is here. Oh, we got 15 more minutes, then we're done. Lovely. Okay, so the profit is $56. The investment is going to be $1,844. $1,800. 3%. Why the hell not? Company's over 100 years old. Why wouldn't you want a 100-year-old company? You know what's interesting about a 100-year-old company? Think about this. The company's over 100 years old. What does that tell you? They must be doing something right. Think about it. They've been in business for over 100 years. They've been consistently profitable for 5 decades. If you don't know what 5 decades is, that, my friends, is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. 50 years of increased profits or more. Because GPC, which is Genuine Parts Corporation, has over 7 decades of increased profits. And then you've got ED, Consolidated Edison, over 200. Yes, 200 years old. What do? They produce electricity. They've been doing it for over 200 years. They must be doing something right. Think about it. Why wouldn't you want to invest in those companies? Yeah, I know Meta's new technology. Yeah, fine, wonderful. If you're younger and you can have that risk, fine, wonderful. 200-year-old company, great. I'd do 200-year-old company over Meta any day, because they have seen a lot more. What has Meta seen? Meta has not seen World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, the stock market crash of 29, the Great Depression, the oil embargo of the 70s, the crash in 87, the crash in 2000, the crash in 2008, the crash in 2021, the crash in 2024, and the next crash. No, Meta. All right, so wait a minute. Meta has seen the crash of 2008, and it got all right, but it hasn't seen that other stuff. It hasn't been around that long. Consolidated Edison has been around for 200 years. Anyway, let's keep on going. Let's keep on keeping on. Got to make the best of. Did we save this one? No, we didn't save this one. Baxter. Let's check it out. You notice how I have 2 drinks? You know why that is? Okay, this is a hot drink. This is a cold drink. Because every once in a while I get thirsty and I just want a cold drink. But this, it's a warm herbal tea. It's supposed to be good for my throat because I'm not used to talking so much. So my vocal cords hurt. And I sound funny. If you look at my videos from years ago, I sound different. Because I didn't have, this is the result of what? What am I up to now? Like 1,300 videos? That's a lot of talking. All right. 3%. And what is this one? Baxter. All right. There we are. Baxter. We didn't save it. Let's give it that one. Here we go. Baxter. All right. Baxter. 12 December. That's next Friday. The $19 call option. No, I am not buying options. I am selling options. 80% of all options expire worthless. So why the hell would I want to buy them? I want to sell them. $56 is my profit. $1,800 is my investment, and this is going to give me a 3% return for the week. Now there are 2 things that happen. The stock is either going to go above my strike price or it's going to go below my strike price come Friday next week. Okay, so what am I doing? Now, every morning, all right, okay, if you have a cat, dog, bird, fish, whatever, I have fish. Okay, I have a fish tank, beautiful fish tank. Some of you guys may have seen it. Every day, I sit in front of my fish tank and I feed it. I feed the fish. Every once in a while, I got to clean the tank. I have to do something in order to gain the pleasure of the fish tank. Just enjoying the peacefulness of watching the fish swim around. Very peaceful. So if there's something that you want, you have to put some effort into it. Okay, so we're looking at our money. Okay, now this is not the answer to all your prayers because money is just a commodity. It comes, it goes, it comes, it goes. There's a lot of money out there. You just got to figure out how to best position yourself to capitalize on what you have available. Okay? So I'm 61. I'm going to be 62 soon. So I retired 2 years ago after working for 5 decades. My first job was in 1974. So I retired 2 years ago. So all the money I made in my retirement, before I retired, has to last me for the rest of my life. So I don't have the luxury of being wrong. Let me say that one more time so you make sure you understand it. I don't have the luxury of being wrong. If I'm wrong, I lose money. It means, hey, welcome to Walmart. How are you doing today? Will that be paper or plastic? Sorry, that's not me. It's not. I get nothing against those people at all. I say hi to everybody. When I go out, I talk to everybody because you never know. This is a good one. This is my own saying. I came up with this one myself. You ready? You never know where or when you are going to meet the one person that is going to change your life forever. You just don't know. You don't know when you're going to meet the one person that's going to change your life forever. I talk to everybody. I do, because you just don't know. Anyway, what are we looking at? Oh, 3%. Let's go back. Oh, this is the lowest one today. And we got our 5. Yay! All righty. It is 10:52. We got 8 minutes. Let's get to some of these questions. No more stock talk. Let's get to questions because I'm sure you guys have interesting questions. If I didn't get to your stock today, we'll take a look at more tomorrow. You read it wrong. IRBT. I did? Did I read that wrong? Glod? Abdurrahman? What is GLOD? Okay. Good evening, Johnny boy. Good evening. Can you please look at NTR? We're going to have to look at it tomorrow. We got like 8 minutes left. I got a whole bunch of questions. What were the 5? Mercer, how are you doing? Give me a second. I changed your life? Yay, BP. All right. You know what? You never dropped me a number. Okay? Drop me your number. We'll have a call. We'll have a chat. SB 1981. We'll take a look at that one tomorrow. UNH, University of New Hampshire. Yeah, actually, it's United Health Group, something like that. No more questions there. Thank you there, BP. Thank you, BP. Send me a rose. Yay. All right. What else we get? Oh, get these off there. It's starting to hurt. Oh, crap. Holy cow. 508. That's in the Boston area, dude. Okay, now, normally when I say drop your number, I'll give you a buzz. I don't mean put it right on the screen for everyone else to read it. But I'm going to write it down. I'm going to give you a buzz as soon as I'm done. Give me like 10 minutes. Okay, I'm going to give you a buzz in 10 minutes. 5, 8. I'm not going to say it out loud because there are 9 other channels. Only one channel is going to see your number. Okay, hold on. All right, and hey. All right. I'll call you in 5 minutes. Don't go anywhere. What platform do I start with? Now, Bill, everybody's different. Okay, seriously. Can you give me your list? Oh, come on, dude. You've been here long enough to know that. Screen is backwards. Yes, I know. I love it when people tell me something I already know that I have no control over. No, it's interesting. If I had control over the screen being backwards, I could do something about it. But for over a year, I have tried to reverse the screen. And YouTube is just fickle, I guess. Whoops. That wasn't what I wanted. I wanted to get rid of that. All right, let's take a look at some questions. So, Bill, what platform do you start with? Now, Bill, I have no idea what it is you want to do. Okay, that's why I always tell people, if you're really serious, send me a number, I'll give you a call. Now, I don't text, I don't WhatsApp, I don't, what is that? Telegram, that's the one. I don't Telegram, I don't Snapchat, I don't do any of that stuff. Okay, you're actually listening to me talk to you at this moment in time. What does that mean? Well, you hear my voice. When I say drop me your number, I will give you a call. Personally, me. I'm not going to pass the buck, give it to someone else. Okay, I take great pride in what I do. Okay, even though it's just a, what do you call it? A hobby. Jonathan, hey, Jonathan. Tonight was great. Picks on the board. Yeah, did you like that? Nice picks on the board. Okay, Jonathan, I'm gonna get back in a second. Let's do it right now. So that way, some of these guys can take a look at it. Here we go, right here. I can't get it much bigger. All right, let's go like this. How's this? How is this? Look at that. That's nice. What do we have? We have HPE, Hewlett Packard. We have RBRK. I have no idea who the hell they are. Never ever heard of them. Never invested in them. That's me. You want to do it, that's your responsibility. I don't give tips. I don't give suggestions. Somebody asked me to take a look at it. It's nothing more than an observation. I make observations. You give me a stock, I plug in the numbers, and that's what it looks like. It's not a tip. It's not advice. Okay, I don't know who they are. Oracle, 6. APLD. Baxter. I like Baxter. Out of all of them, I like Baxter the best. Because it's a 100-year-old company. Okay? APLD, not 100 years old, but 7.8. Oracle, yeah, I like that one too, but not as much as Baxter. And Hewlett Packard, I like that one too. All right, so what do we have next? Let's get down to you guys. What's going on? Baxter for next week. Yep, we took a look at that one, Joe. Don't. All right. Oh, love that. Look at that. Up down traders getting rid of all those trolls. Awesome, dude. Less than I have to worry about. Now, you guys over here, up down trader and Joey and Beast. Yeah, you three. Okay. You guys got a lot going on down here, and you're talking to a lot of people. ABD, this is for serious traders wanting to learn income strategy. Awesome, dude. I couldn't say it better myself. What's all I'm late? Beast, what's happening, dude? All right. Beverly, how are you today? You're new here, Beverly. Joey, how you doing? All right, Beast up, down. I've been playing around with the Google Gemini, and it's pretty impressive. Okay, Joey, all right. You guys carrying on that conversation yourself. How about Mel? Mike, how are you doing? All right, do you have the list of the 300 stocks on your regular list? Of course I do. MEI only has monthly options. Yeah, no. Nope. He's looking for consistent companies with profits with more than 20 years of regular dividends. Okay, up, down, you got to say 20 years of increasing dividends. There's a lot of companies that have 20 years of dividends, but they don't increase. They go up, they go down, they go up. See, I like companies that are consistently profitable. That means every single year that number. Let me give you a quick example. Let's go here. Let's go. Okay, let's look at this one. We're going to use this one example, and then we're going to be done. For a given week option premium, got that one. Thank you. XRP is not a dividend stock. We don't do crypto. Nothing behind it. No product, no service. Absolutely. Oh God, shit. If you live closer, dude, I'd give you a job. Skydance. Okay. Don't know. Ellison bought Paramount and then changed the name to Skydance. Okay. Now, Dev, Ellison does own Oracle. Okay. Remember this one thing, Dev. Ellison owns Oracle. Ellison's son owns Skydance. And when Ellison, he's an old man, okay? When he croaks, his son is going to inherit Oracle or all his shares in Oracle or his control. And then Skydance and Oracle together. Oh, yeah, I love me some Oracle. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Now, when I say consistent profitability, we gotta wait for it to open. Wait a second. Looking at the wrong screen. Okay. Now I want you to pay attention. When I say if you're investing, you should have at your fingertips a financial website in which you can access. All right. I want to look at the dip. Oh, where are we? Right here. I want to look at the dividends, and then I want to look at all the dividends, the maximum amount. I want to go all. This is what's called the data stream. The data stream is the dates. Okay. Every single time they paid out a dividend. Look at all of those. Okay. Now this goes back to 2003. Okay. That's over 20 years ago. All right. So let's take a look at numbers. Now, there's a difference between 20 years of increasing dividends. That means year after year, the number gets higher and higher and higher and higher. It means the company's consistently profitable. Now, there are companies that have 20 years of dividends, but it goes up, down, and it's not consistently profitable. So if you have, let's say, $5 this month, next quarter you'll get $3. Well, it goes from $5 to $3. Yeah, no, that's losing money. I don't like companies that lose money. So let's take a look at Microsoft. Look at these numbers. Okay, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 16, 20, 23, 28, 31, 36, 39, 42, 46, 51, 56, 62, 68, 75, 83, 91. Year after year after year. Higher, 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 higher. Consistently. That's what I like about it. Let's take a look at this one. This is a hot topic. Everybody loves it. Well, not everybody. Some people like it. Okay, now this one has dividends, but look at the numbers. Okay, 4.6, 6.8, 6.9, 8.6, 6.6, 7, 7.5, 7.7, 8, 8.2, 8.9, 8.4. So look, 6.8, 6.9 higher, 8.6, 6.6 lower. So look at it this way. If I'm getting 6.8, okay, 6.8, the very next one is 6.9. Okay, it's higher. But after that, it goes to 8.6. Now you're at 8.6. Then the very next one is 6.6. Do you understand the difference between 8.6 and 6.6? That's a $2 drop. A $2 drop on an $8 on an 8-cent premium is a 25. This from here, 8.6 to 6.6 is a 25% drop. It's not an increase. It's a 25% decrease. The dividends are there, but the profits aren't. The profits increase, the dividend increases. The profits decrease, the dividends decrease. It's actually that simple. So it goes higher, higher, lower. Higher, 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 lower. Higher, lower. Higher, lower, higher, lower, lower, higher, higher, lower, higher, lower. And it just keeps going. Higher, lower, higher, lower, lower, lower. Yeah, I don't do those. Consistency of profitability. You guys have a great night. We'll see you all again tomorrow. It's past 11 o'clock. I'm about to turn into a pumpkin. Yay for me. All right, you guys have a great day. We'll do this all again tomorrow. Yay. Okay, BP, don't go anywhere. I'm going to give you a buzz in a couple of minutes. All right, you guys have a great day. And we will do this all again tomorrow morning. And now the end is near. And so I face the vinyl curtain, my friends. I'll say it clear. I'll state my case, for which I'm certain.